Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. And no, I am not at the South Fork. This is a virtual background, but I thought it was really fitting for our virtual tour today. I'm Adriana Cruz. I'm the Executive Director of the Texas Economic Development and Tourism Office within the Office of the Governor. And I'm pleased to welcome you to the 2021 Texas Film Commission Virtual Forum. Thank you so much for joining us today as we celebrate the Texas Film Friendly Program and the communities that have undergone the certification. At the Texas Economic Development and Tourism Office, our mission is to market and promote the state of Texas as a premier location for business, tourism, music, and film. Within our office, the Texas Film Commission is the first stop for creative media resources and works to promote Texas as a top destination for production in areas such as film, television, commercial, animation, visual effects, video game, and extended reality industries. This is a historic year for the Texas Film Commission as we celebrate their 50th anniversary of serving the Texas creative community. Since 1971, the Film Commission has been dedicated to developing the creative media industries across the state, and as a result, growing our local and state economy. In fact, the Film Commission has assisted in creating more than 157,000 new jobs and more than 1.6 billion in in-state spending between 2007 and 2020. And one of the programs that has helped to bolster this important industry is the Film Friendly Texas program, which, as Kim said, has now certified more than 160 communities across the Lone Star State. We want to thank the many community partners and industry professionals that work side by side with the Film Commission to certify the film-friendly communities and to host the Film Friendly Texas workshops. Our office is so proud to work alongside you as we continue to keep Texas the top destination in the US for creative media production. On behalf of the Governor's Office and the Texas Economic Development and Tourism Office, thank you for joining us today, and please enjoy the rest of the event. Thanks.
Thank you, Adriana. We're so glad to have you here to help us kick off the virtual part of our forum. And thank you to our attendees. As Kim said, as Adriana said, the work we do, is with you is so important to our industries, and it wouldn't be possible without all of your help. And so we can't thank you enough. I'm Stephanie Whalen, the director of the Film Commission, and today is very, very exciting because it kicks off more than a year of hard work by the Film Commission staff, and specifically Kim LeBlanc. Kim had come to me with an idea to have a forum where we could continue the education that the certification process starts. And this culmination of this event today is purely the result of her determination and vision. And I couldn't be prouder of the work that she has done and the rest of the staff. So thank you, Kim. The Film Friendly Forum, I almost said Friday, is part of our 50th anniversary celebration. And these celebrations, many of you have attended other events, have been happening all year, but being able to celebrate not only the history of our office and the work that we do, but being able to celebrate the work that our community partners do, it is vital. Again, we wouldn't, our industries wouldn't have the success that they're having without the help of our community partners. We hope that this forum will become a regular thing and not just a celebration of a milestone. We want to be able to continue to grow and evolve the Film Friendly program and to provide continuing education for our community partners and for our industry representatives. We look forward to getting to spend time with you during the virtual sessions and then next week. And then we're also really looking forward to being able to shake hands and say hello in person in May. So We have more exciting things in store next week, as well as for the in-person event in May. And we can't thank you enough for attending the virtual event. And thank you again to the hardworking TFC staff. Thanks to our media sponsor, AMP Studios. Thank you to Adriana for being here this morning. And a special thank you to Southfork Ranch, who have been wonderful partners, and we're looking forward to getting to show off the ranch in May. Let's everyone have a good forum, and we'll look forward to seeing you throughout the week.
And I believe Stephen is going to queue up our video tour of Southfork Ranch. So everybody just get nestled in and ready for that experience. Again, we're going to take a look at film tourism in action, and this will give you a teaser of what to expect in May when we have the event at Southfork Ranch. And thank you so much again to Stephanie and Adriana for the wonderful welcome remarks.
My name is Jana Tim, and I'm the general manager of Southfork Ranch. I think Dallas has the power, the show Dallas has the power that it does in making people want to come here and see it, is because the whole show was just exciting. It was fun. It was an imaginary life. You know, the impact that Southfork Ranch has had economically in the film, because of the filming and the film business, in the cities that surround us, it's pretty huge, because the people who come here, they stay in hotel rooms in the outlying towns of Plano, Allen, and people leave here, they go shopping, they dine in our restaurants nearby, and downtown Dallas, of course, people venture there to see the rest of where Dallas was shot too, if they're big fans. We've had so many different reality shows, from most recently Real Housewives of Dallas, and back in the day, several years ago, Top Chef, Cake Hunters reality show was shot here. So there was a lot going on, and we learned quickly how to work around with our tourists, to work around where we were not interfering in their filming. What that did for Southfork and our staff is made us very film friendly. You know, the thing that makes Southfork unique for me, in my eyes, is that the show Dallas with Larry, JR, and the rest of them, they were so much a family here back in the day when they filmed here. And even when they did the reboot, it was very evident how close they all were and cared about each other. I can parallel that to what we have here as a staff. We are all a family here.
Good morning, welcome to Southfork Ranch. My name's Vicki, and I'm going to be your guide over through the house today. I have a lot of information to give you about the ranch today, so let's get started. Get comfy right there in your chairs. Now, this ranch actually was built in 1970, and it was built by a gentleman by the name of J.R. Duncan. Now, he just happened to have the same initials as J.R. Ewing on that show. Now, Mr. Duncan used to have one of the largest quarter horse ranches in the state of Texas at one time out here, and it was originally called Duncan Acres. So Larmar Productions ends up getting in a helicopter. They start flying all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. As they fly over the area and this particular ranch, the reason they ended up picking our ranch, as they flew over the property, they just didn't think a bad picture could be taken from any vantage point on the outside of the ranch. Well, needless to say, they continue on and have a long conversation with Mr. Duncan. By the time they got to the end of that conversation, I can tell you right now, Mr. Duncan, they had convinced him to allow them to film out here on the ranch. So every single shot you ever saw on the show that had anything to do with an outside shot, whether it was summer or winter scenes, they did right here on the ranch. Now, Larmar Productions ends up going back to Culver City, California. That's really where they built a 40,000 square foot stage set. Now that's where they did all the interior shots on the show. Mr. Duncan and Mr. and Mrs. Duncan lived on the ranch. Things went pretty well for them. But you know, all of a sudden when people found out all those movie stars were out here, I'm going to tell you what, this ranch was inundated from people from all over the world. They came out here by the thousands, I can tell you. You could look out at any of these windows in the front part of the house and all those open fields, there would be thousands of people. people. So finally, by 1984, they had to reevaluate their situation. They decided it was time for them to sell this ranch. Our parent company is called Forever Living Products. Our current owner, he's a gentleman by the name of Rex Mon. He's a businessman out of Scottsdale, Arizona. So he gives a decorator $500,000 to decorate the inside of the house as if what she thought it might look like had the Ewings had lived there in the house. Now, as you were walking up today, you're going to notice our Olympic-sized swimming pool. Now, I see some smiles on some faces out there. Yes, it's not an Olympic-sized swimming pool. They did many things out here when they were filming to fool your eye, make you think you're seeing something you're not. That swimming pool was one of them. They would actually put Patrick Duffy down in the deep end of the swimming pool. They would put him in a clear Hornets and he would take off swimming like crazy. Well, guess what? He wasn't going one place. They put these huge mirrors down the side of the swimming pool on both sides, and then they used that wide angle lens on every single thing, those shots, to make it appear as it was that Olympic-sized swimming pool. As we go in the house today, we're going to have that glass table. You're going to notice there's lots of scratches on it. It's 41 years old. That is the original table where they sat for every single breakfast shot on that show. Many lunches were served there, and you remember they always had 1,000 fights at that table. Of course, then we're going to turn around and you're going to see Miss Ellie's kitchen. Now, I'm telling you what, Barbara Belgetti happened to like the design of our kitchen so well, she requested that be reproduced on the stage set in California. Now, of course, they always made it 3 times larger for cameras and extra people when they were filming in there. Now, you'll notice ours has red wallpaper on the ceilings. It has an island in the middle, a Sub-Zero refrigerator in there. Now, you know, those are the kind of amenities that you would not have had in a house in the 1970s unless you had a little money in your pocket. Now we're going to step down into our largest room in the house. That's Jock's living room. Now that portrait over the fireplace, Jim Davis played that part from 1978 to 1981 when he actually died on the show. Now Larry Hagman's father was actually absent in his life, so Jim Davis was his mentor in real life. Now they only filmed in this house 3 times over all those years. They did 2 filmings for the reunion shows right here in this living room. Patrick Duffy and Larry Hagman would sit in those wing chairs up by the mantle there, and then of course all the cast members here on the sofas. We're going to talk about the patio or the balcony area here on the back side of the ranch. Now, if you remember in that storyline, Kristen was pushed over the side of the balcony here and she landed in the swimming pool. Now, you know, as we look out here, she would have never made it. It's just too darn far. So what they actually did is they would have someone go and they were going to push her over the railing. Now, as she went over the railing, she was caught below in a net. Then they would take her out of the net and then she would jump into the side of the swimming pool. We're going to go on the landing. We're going to stop in front of those doors in that window. We're going to be talking about that main driveway back over to the right where you see all those trees. That's the original driveway coming down to the ranch here. Again, they did lots of things to fool your eye. If you remember in the very first scene of the show, Jim Davis would always come blowing and going down this really, really long driveway. There'd be all this dirt flying in the air. Well, it never happened that way. They would actually start Jim Davis's car down at the driveway. They sprinkled white cooking flour all over the road, all the way up to the house here. Well, he would just blaze off and back up, blaze off and back up. I'm going to tell you right now, they just spliced all those parts together. They just made us think it was that long driveway with all that dirt flying in the air. So we always say, what you see is not always what you get. We want to thank you for tuning in today and watching us. We hope that you enjoyed it. And as we say here on the ranch, happy trails. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for coming, folks. Bye-bye.
We hope you guys all enjoyed the virtual tour of Southfork Ranch as much as we enjoyed working with Southfork Ranch and AMP Studios to put it together. We of course want to thank Vicki, our fabulous tour guide. She's a true Texas treasure, and we're so lucky to have her involved in this project. And of course, Jana Tim, who is the general manager at Southfork Ranch. They've been very generous partners with our office in working to host the event in person in May. And so this is just a bit of a teaser and a taste of what's to come for that event, and just showing some of the film tourism in action. Again, we want to thank AMP Studios for partnering with us as our Film Friendly Forum media sponsor. And for anyone who isn't aware, AMP Creative and AMP Studios is a Dallas-based production company, studio facility, creative and innovation agency. And we are so pleased to have their involvement in the forum, and also just have them as wonderful industry partners. And so we have a spot that we're going to share that just has a little more information about AMP and shows all the good work that they're doing. And then after we share that, I want to open it up to questions that you might have about the virtual forum, about the virtual tour video of Southfork Ranch, the process that went into putting that together, and anything else. So go ahead and cue that AMP spot up, Stephen, if you're able to.
Can we close the front door, please?
Okay, and that's a great spot to just kind of show the work that AMP does. You know, they in our experience of working with them, of course, they've been a pleasure to work with, and you know, everyone we've worked with has a great sense of humor, as you can see by that spot. They're too busy working to actually make their own, you know, their own promotional video, but you know, it's kind of a funny take on that. So, you know, how we kind of went about the process of working with them and Southfork Ranch to put that virtual tour video together was a really fun, creative collaboration for our office and for our partners. And so I'm so glad that we could share that with y'all today. If anybody has any questions, I know that we're in webinar mode on Zoom. The rest of our sessions will be in meeting mode, which are a little more interactive. But if you have a question about the virtual forum, the programming that we have coming up next week, if you have a question about how we put the video together, or anything that you saw in the video, feel free to use this time to just type it in the chat and I'll shout it out. I love that Dara said, this show is the real deal. So many memories, and that theme song. I know, isn't it incredible how a theme song that was only 1 minute and 9 seconds long completely changed not just the way that the world sees Texas, but also created a huge tourism opportunity for Dallas and for Southfork Ranch all these years later. That theme song is really iconic and so much fun, just like the show itself. And Janice, who is our Dallas Film Commissioner, says, we think so too. Does anybody have any questions? We'll hold the floor for just a few more minutes, but if you don't, that's also okay. I will just remind everyone right now, if you have registered to attend the forum, your registration does include your attendance to the virtual forum and then also the in-person forum in May. So that's right, 2 events for the price of 1. And we are so glad to have you on board today. And then for next week's programming, we will kick off our programming next week on Tuesday at 11 a.m. with the How to Become a Film Friendly Certified Community Workshop. This is a great workshop for anybody to sit in on. But particularly if your community is just taking the first step in learning more about the Film Friendly Texas program and the media production industries of Texas, and if you are looking to become Film Friendly certified, then this attendance of this particular workshop on next Tuesday at 11 a.m. will fulfill the film friendly certification workshop requirement. So please be sure to join us for that. And of course, for anybody else who wants to sit in and just kind of get a refresher on how the Film Friendly Texas program is continuing to grow and how the needs of our industries are continuing to evolve. That's going to be a great opportunity there. And if you are a new point of contact in a community that is already film friendly certified, but you haven't received training yet from our office, this is the workshop for you to sit in as well. As we move on to Wednesday, we have some really great programming as well. So I'm just going to run through our schedule here, which everybody has, but just so that you know, on Wednesday, from 11 a.m. to noon, we will have our Producing in the Lone Star State panel. And this is going to be a really dynamic conversation with Texas-based producers who talk about fostering positive community production partnerships and all that goes into producing top shelf content across the state. Then after that, we are going to have from noon to 1 p.m. our Film Friendly Texas Community Partner Networking session. If you are new to the program, if you're looking to connect with other representatives in your regional area, or if you're just looking to build your network and connect to mentorship opportunities with other film friendly peers and then also TFC staff alike, we encourage you to sign up in advance. I've sent out a link. You can fill out the Microsoft Forms brief survey so that we can help pair you up with a mentor who's going to best meet you and your community's needs, and plan to join us for that. That's going to be super fun. And then on Thursday, we're going to close out the virtual forum with our How to Become a Digital Media Friendly Community workshop. We're really excited about this. Our new digital media production consultant, Matt Miller, has done a wonderful job of putting together a program that's going to be really exciting with a lot of new information for everybody. You know, a lot of y'all might know about working with the film and TV and commercial industries. And so Matt's going to really take it away and talk more about what digital media is and why it's a really good opportunity for your community. And then from noon to 1 p.m. on Thursday, September 30th, we will close out the virtual forum with our closing keynote conversation with our director, Stephanie Whalen, and Visit Fort Worth's Jessica Christopherson and Mitch Witten. And they're going to talk about elevating the visibility of your creative community and the marketing first approach that their office has taken in promoting not just the film industries, but a wide range of creative industries in Fort Worth. So needless to say, we've got a great program. Everybody has that information via email, but I just wanted to run through it in case you had any questions. And please, you know, without any further ado, doesn't look like there are any questions. So we just want to thank you again for joining us this morning. Thanks for joining us on the tour. Thanks again to our sponsor, AMP Studios, for partnering with us to make this incredible video. It's just so much fun to make and watch. And thank you all for everything that you do to make Texas so film friendly. We're excited to jump into the slate of virtual programming next week, starting Tuesday at 11 a.m. And until then, have a wonderful weekend and happy Film Friendly Friday, Film Friendly Forum Friday. That's right, we added an extra F just for today.